Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide and the installation instructions video for MDG Curated Templates Volume 1. Thank you very much for purchasing the Curated Templates pack, because that type of purchase directly supports the independence of My Deep Guide and the work that I do. Now let's cut to the chase and start with installation instructions immediately. When you have placed your order, you will get an automatic email immediately upon payment confirmation, which contains important information here along with your order summary. Since this was a test, it does not contain a download button, but on a proper order, you will have a download button present. And this button will be your download link. So you need to click on it and it will download the product. The important thing to note is that this download link will be valid for 30 days. This is a standard security measure. So upon expiry of 30 days, and if you haven't downloaded it or you need to download, please do contact me and I will issue a new download link with a fresh download button. The other thing that is important to note is that in this text here, it is important to kind of read this because it has all of the information that is pertinent to your purchase. So for example, your download link can be found in this email as a download button. You have the 30-day expiry notification, and also very importantly, you have the pertinent links here for further instructions. So for example, for My Deep Guide templates, you can click on the link here and it will automatically direct you to a page that has all of the pertinent information and links in regards to the product that you have purchased. In the case of the My Deep Guide Curated Templates, you have the links for installation instruction video, which is this video right here. You have the product presentation video, and you also have the all-important, as you can see, important template naming legend. And I strongly encourage you to familiarize yourself with the naming convention of the My Deep Guide templates. And finally, the most important aspect here is also the naming legend. It is important to just familiarize yourself with this because it will make it easier for you to understand which template is which. The names of the templates follow this convention. They start with the PPI code, then we have orientation, then we have template type, and then we have the variation. So what does that mean? Well, that means that in reality, for example, let's check out the 207 _L line NMT. What does that mean? Following the naming legend, it's easy to understand. So 207 is the PPI code, and that means that this is a template that's intended for 13.3-inch devices that have 207 ppi screen resolution. From the very first naming element, you know for which type of a device this template is for. Then we have L, which follows the orientation. So in this case, P for portrait, L for landscape. So this is a landscape variation. And then what do we have here? Well, we have a line. So what type of line types do we have? NMT. What does that mean? Well, we have N for narrow, NM, narrow and margin, NMT, the one that we're looking for, narrow with margin and a title, NT for narrow and title, W for wide, and the same variations for the wide, WM, WMT, WT. And another noteworthy variation type is for the grid types. Then we have same type of screen, portrait mode, .2. What does that mean? Well, that means that we have a dot grid, which is using medium dots. So dot 1, small dots, dot 2, medium dots. Similarly, for grid 1, we have a pale grid, and for grid 2, you have a strong grid variation. Getting familiar with the naming legend for MDG Curated Templates is an important step, and it is particularly useful if you intend to use several packs on several different devices. Depending on which type of platform you're using, you may encounter all of the templates being listed at the same time. And this is something that is platform controlled, not something that I can control. So that is why it is important to familiarize yourself with this. Once you have received your order confirmation and you have downloaded your product, what you will download is a single zip file archive that contains all of the templates in there. So the next step in line is to unzip or unpack this download archive. Depending on which platform you are using, unzipping an archive is a slightly different process, but you can find detailed unzipping instructions in the description of this video for iOS, Android, Windows, and Mac OS environments. But the most important aspect that you need to remember is that you cannot just open the zip. You need to unpack it in order to be able to successfully transfer the contents onto your tablet onwards. In my case, I'm using Windows and I'm using WinRAR as the archive handler, so I will be able to simply right-click and choose extract to a specific folder, like so. This is something that you can do also in the native Windows without any problems. It will be the same type of functionality. So once you have unpacked your downloaded zip file, you will have two different entities. You will have your zip file and you will have the unpacked folder. From the moment that you've unpacked your zip file, all of the actions need to be considering the folder contents, not the zip folders. So this was a package that you've unpacked, and now this is the content that you are interested in. And once you go in, you will have a folder structure, and you will see, I will just arrange it by details so that you can see a little bit easier. And these are the contents that you will see in your package. So we have 36 templates, and you can see that we have 18 of landscape and then 18 of the portrait modes. You are free to transfer all of them that you want to your device or only the ones that you're interested. So for example, if you don't want clutter on your device and you know that you won't be using landscape, well, then you're free to transfer only the portrait ones. It's important not to disregard the first text file, which is conveniently named ! Please read first ! And this file also contains the same instructions that I've talked about previously and that I've shown in several different instances, but for convenience sake and to ensure that the customer does have these instructions in case they've missed it somehow in some of the previous locations, all of the naming conventions for these templates are contained in this document. Transferring your custom templates and using them on a Boox platform can be done in one of two methods. The first one I'm going to be showing here, where I am directly connecting my device to the computer via the USB-C cable. And you can see now that I have a Go 10.3 that has just appeared. So when I go into here, now I have my directory structure of the device here. Now the only important difference here to keep in mind is whether or not you are using an OS 4 or something earlier on your device. If you're using an OS 4 or later, you can copy your templates anywhere in any directory that you want, but if you're using a OS that is before version 4, then you need to copy them into the Note template directory. So for the purposes of this example, I'm just going to copy the templates into the Note template here. And here I can see like, okay, I only have one thing. So I want to organize my folder structure well. So I'm just going to go here, MDG Templates. And that's where I'm going to be placing my templates. In the unpacked folder, so remember where I have the, not the zip file, but the unpacked folder, I am simply now going to drag and drop or copy paste. So I can just press Control copy, right? So I can go copy and then paste here, or I can just simply drag and drop onto my Boox tablet like this. And this content will now be copied over to the tablet. The second method of transferring files onto your Boox tablet is via the use of the pushboox.com URL, where you can log into your Boox account if you have it. And then you have to use the Boox drop. So the prerequisite here is to enable the Boox drop functionality on your tablet. And you can do that by simply exposing your control center and in control center tapping the Boox drop button. Once that is enabled and you make sure that both of your computer and the device are hooked up to the same Wi-Fi network, then you can go to Boox drop and it will or should detect your device. In this case, it has detected my device right here. And what I can do is go to local transfer, click on my device, and it will open up a new tab where I have direct access to the files on my device. And what you want to go is to go to internal storage. And here you will see the exact same directory structure that we've seen when using the direct connection via the USB-C cable. However, you should be aware of one bug that the Push to Boox platform has. And that is, if you try to transfer an entire folder that contains multiple files, it will allow you to do that, but it will fail. And no matter how many times you restart, it will continue to fail. The problem is that the bug does not allow a folder to be uploaded, but it does allow multiple files to be uploaded. So what you can do to work around this issue is to create, in this case, let's say test folder. And when I have the folder and I'm inside of a folder here, and then I access my files. So for example, here I can go Control A to select all of them, drag and drop here, you will see that all of them are being successfully transferred. And while this works in this particular case, this is a particularly nasty bug if you have like a sophisticated folder structure that you want to transfer easily via push Boox. So that is one of the primary reasons why I personally prefer a direct cabled connection method, but I'm showing you both methods here so that you know and that you can choose which method works for your personal needs the best. Once your files have been transferred to the tablet, and you can verify their presence by going to storage and checking out if all of them are present, there is one more step on the Boox platform that you need to use in order to organize and access your templates in an easy way. So let's create a new template, handwritten notes here. And by default, you will have your general, work, study, and other. That's not where you're going to find the custom templates. Custom templates are naturally going to be in custom. However, you can see that we have no custom templates here yet, but we do have the big add button. And this add button allows you to choose which of the custom templates that you have on your tablet do you want to add as options that you're going to be using on a regular basis. And you can see that here on the OS 4 we have access to all of these files and folders, while on the OS versions pre-OS 4 you will just automatically see the templates that are already placed in the Note template. So this step will not be required on the pre-OS 4 versions of the system, but on OS 4, and most of the devices are getting updated to this OS, so I think that this is going to be the more relevant aspect. Either way, now we can navigate to where we have transferred our templates. So Note templates, MDG 300 10.3, because this is a 10.3 inch display that has 300 ppi, so we have the correct templates for this tablet. And here you can see that we have all of the templates that we have transferred from the package that we've downloaded. And there's a cool thing and a not so cool thing regarding this system. The not so cool thing is that there isn't a select all option. Really bizarre omission on, as far as the Boox platform goes. So you will have to go through all of them if you want to add all of them. That's not cool. What is cool is that you can have a library of templates stored on your device, but not have the clutter of all of the templates displayed in the customization folder. And that way, you can actually make a choice. On this tablet, I will be using the Cornell line option. I will be using the grid 1, and I'm going to be using wide margin, and wide margin title, and wide title. And I'm going to say like, hey, I'm not going to be using the wide margin. I'm simply going to use the wide and wide title. And that these are the ones that I am interested in. And as soon as I press OK, these, only the selected ones, are going to be imported, and the thumbnails are going to display the preview versions of the templates here. And now I'm free to choose whichever I want for my new notebook, and as I choose it, it will display it, and in this case the wide title, or I can flip to the next page. It will automatically use the same template from before, but now I can go here, and back in custom you can see that I already have the other ones that I've already transferred, and I'm free to use them in any other notebook, and they are permanently now added as an option on your custom templates. When using a Supernote device and using a cabled method, you have the exact same type of procedure. So you hook up your device and connect it via the USB-C cable to your computer. It will appear as a device here. And on a Supernote platform, you also do have the dedicated folder. And in this case, it actually is important because custom templates have to be placed in the My Style folder for the platform to be able to use them. So while you can physically transfer them anywhere, you won't be able to use them unless they are placed in the My Style. So you have to go to My Style, and here as well you can create a folder structure of your choice. In this case, I've already used them here, but here I'm going to use a new folder, demonstration. demonstration video just for this purpose. And when I enter this folder, I can simply drag and drop the same thing here. And now it will copy them and they will be on the tablet. Alternatively, you can use the Supernote partner app, which is far more convenient to use than the push to Boox platform, because here you simply open it up and immediately you have the My Style access, and your device doesn't have to be connected or even turned on because you are going to be uploading to your Supernote cloud account. So there is the prerequisite of having a Supernote account in order to be able to use this successfully. But if you do, then you have the access to My Style, and once you are here, you have the same type of access to the folder structure as before. And here you can also just create a new folder, upload things. So let's say like this, so partner example, so that is going to be my folder here. However, in the partner app, you cannot use drag and drop. You have to use the import button. Once you click on it, it will ask you to go where do you want to import your data from. And here I'm going to select the whole folder. And again, we see this problem of not being able to upload the entire folder. So this is a consistent problem on both platforms, but using this dialog, you can select all files and it will upload them directly here. Once you're done with this, you need to remember to wait until the synchronization is done. So as long as this is spinning, you can see the indication here, the percentage of how much of it has been synchronized. So do not close your partner app until the synchronization is complete. And once it is done, then when you're back on your device, you can press on the cloud synchronization. It will fetch the files from the cloud and you will have the same files present on your tablet as well. On the Supernote platform, you can see that the files that we've transferred from our computer via the direct connection are here, right? So demonstration video, these are the files that we have transferred. But where are our cloud transfer files? Well, they are not there because I have not synchronized yet. So as soon as I actually press the synchronization, it will now fetch the files that we have uploaded to our cloud account, and you can see the partner example folder appearing, and you can see it downloading the contents that we have uploaded to the cloud account. And when the synchronization process is finished, you can see that we have the same file folder and the same contents of that folder on our tablet now. All right, so how do we go about adding custom templates on a Supernote? Let's create a new notebook. And now we can go to the template section when creating a new notebook, go to view all. And when we go to the customization, we will encounter a nasty side effect of how Supernote handles and displays custom templates. And it is not allowing or not displaying the folder structure that is in My Notes. So even though you may organize your custom templates really nicely in your folder structure in My Notes. As you've seen, we had different folders for different types of templates. It unfortunately doesn't matter because the Supernote platform simply displays all compatible files that it finds in the entirety of the My Notes folder, including the subfolders, but it doesn't show the subfolder structure. So that means that we actually have a huge mess of templates here, and we have like 16 pages, and that's really not a good thing to use. However, we do have a search function, and here is why it is important to familiarize yourself with the template naming convention, because I know that I am going to be using the templates for the Supernote Manta, which is a 10.7, and this one holds the PPI code 300 PPIs 11-inch, because 10.7 is rounded to 11. So that means 311. And as soon as I do that and I hit search, it will automatically filter from 16 pages down to 3 pages. And now I can easily find what I want. However, if I do know and use my naming convention further, I can narrow this search much more efficiently. So for example, I can say, hey, I am interested only in portrait templates, and I am interested only in Cornell. So let's see if we can make that happen easily. So we're going to get P for portraits _ and let's just write Cornell and see what we get. And hey presto, I have narrowed down my selection only to the templates that are relevant to me and to the ones that I want to use. Or similarly, I can just say like, hey, I don't want Cornell, and go grid and press search. And then I have the grid 1 and the grid 2. And let's say that I want grid 2 and I'm good. I'm going to create, and I have my new notebook with the template that I chosen ready. I hope that you enjoy using mydeepguide curated templates on your device as much as I am, because it really was a transformative experience for me, especially on the Note Max, which was extending these lines to basically unusable formats. And the moment I started to use these templates on the Note Max, it further transformed it into an even more usable device. And it actually translates to other devices as well. So this package was a very, very useful addition to all of my devices that I'm using here, and I sincerely hope that you find them as useful in your daily ventures as well. Thank you so much for your purchase. Enjoy using your MDG curated templates. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye.